All right, welcome back to Nick Doin Stuff. So a lot has happened since I last posted a video. We moved, got a new garage. I got this car. I do still have the four-wheeler that I have a bunch of videos on, and I do have a couple more videos planned on that, and I think one more I just need to edit and release. But I did want to take a quick shot of this Miata I picked up. It's a 93. It's got about 125,000 miles on it. It's very clean. There's very few imperfections in the body. A couple little nicks and dents here and there for a car that's 30 years old and that was daily driven at some point, probably in the 90s. I'd say it's in really good shape. Interior looks phenomenal. The top's in great shape. It's got this boot cover that covers up the top and a windscreen, which I could kind of go without, as well as this roll bar, which does add a little bit of rigidity to the frame. Original radio works fine, 5-speed. We also have an airbag light on that I think I'm going to have a real hard time messing with, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but hopefully we can get that turned off as well. It could be a shot of the wheels and tires there. I mean, in any case, it's a small car. It's really fun to drive. It's a good go-kart compared to the F-150 I normally drive, so super happy about having this to work on and have projects to deal with. So here we go. All right, so why don't we take a look under the hood of this Mazda Miata. See, a nice 4-cylinder engine. This thing is super clean. We do have a couple projects that I got to work on here. I'm going to change out the spark plugs and wires, and we're going to flush the brake fluid. I've also got an oxygen sensor to replace on it. Just kind of maintenance items that need to be done. It's not running as smoothly as I would want it to, and hopefully that will fix those problems. Again, yeah, it's a little tiny car. It was not very expensive. It's fun to drive, and you know, something fun to work on too. All right, here are the supplies for today's project. First, we got our wires, NGK spark plugs. We've got a 5/8 socket wrench. That seems to work. And then a gapping tool to make sure that the spark plugs are gapped correctly. Now let's go ahead and check to make sure we have the right fittings here. I've got a screenshot of the owner's manual. Then we'll get started over on the car. Incredibly, we even have the sticker from when it was purchased back in 1993 for $21,000. Okay, so first off, I've kind of got my parts laid out here. Got my socket wrench, new spark plugs. Here's my wires laid out. And then we've got the order of the spark plugs here. So I'll put on the screen the order that these need to go in. But basically this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. And then you can see the order here is 3, 2, 1, 4. I don't know why they did it like that, but that's how it's supposed to go. One thing I didn't mention earlier in the introduction is it's good to have a torque wrench for this. This is a fairly inexpensive one from Harbor Freight. They definitely make nicer ones. This one gets the job done for me. So we'll have that here waiting for the second part of this. So the other thing we want to do before we get started is just make sure that our spark plugs are gapped correctly. So again, I'll put the specs up on the screen, but essentially these things need to be at about 1 mil. So now the next thing that we're going to do is actually start on this front one here. You want to kind of work it loose. You don't want to just rip up so you don't break the plastic off on the spark plug. Just kind of rock it back and forth, get it to loosen up, and then it'll come out. There you go. Now you don't want to go and pull all the wires out just in case you lose your place in the order. Do one at a time, match up the correct wire to the correct side on both pieces, and that'll keep you from getting confused and doing things incorrectly. So now we just need our socket. Actually, we're going to need another extender. Okay, so we had an extension on here. This is actually pretty far down. You just kind of work it on, and then loosen it up. Loosen now. I wonder what that was. And then this is a socket that's got a kind of a grippy thing at the end of it to help you pull the spark plug out. Doesn't seem to want to grab today. Okay. So if you can't do it that way, you can also grab I've got one of these little dudes, little claw. We'll just get in there. See, he pulls them right out. Ooh, looking rough in there, looking rough. So good thing we made this choice. That's ugly. The other thing is you don't want to just drop it in there. So what we'll do instead is we'll do just how we pulled it out. So we can like slowly seat it in. We don't damage anything. The other trick, if you don't have one of these, is you can actually just use a spark plug wire, pop it on, and then pull it back out. So let's see about getting this started. Okay. Okay. Now we've got our torque wrench set to 50 foot-pounds of torque, which is the recommended spec. And now we're just gonna go ahead and tighten up until it pops. There we go. Okay, first one down. So next step is to put this away. The new cable in place. Actually don't look all that bad, but I'll swap it out anyways. Nice fresh start. Make sure that's seated. Again. Okay. And we're just gonna work our way down the engine here. May need to leave this popped out just for a little extra space to work. Okay. There it is. Okay. So now this is the number 2 wire. All right, let's work on number 3. Okay. Very light click on this thing. All right, so that was the 3 wire. We're actually going to wait. It'll make it very difficult to get the 4 wire out. There we go. Get out of here. Okay. Was that necessary? Probably not, but kind of foolproof way to get it in there without slamming down. So I'll take foolproof. And that's changing the spark plugs on a 93 Miata. Okay, we got everything cleaned up. Let's go ahead and start our engine here, see if it runs better. Alright, we shuddered a little bit at the beginning there. Maybe that was just kind of clearing out the pipes a little bit. I'm going to take it around the block and we'll see how things go. All right, she ran great. So good improvement there.